So, I've wanted to make a video on this for the longest time, to be exact, since around 2022. That's right, I'm finally talking about internet screamers. I'm surprised it took me this long to talk about this. Since the internet became more accessible and more widely used, some people online would begin to use it in a more malicious way. From people making and spreading viruses, do various things like spy on people or even destroy computers, to people making websites which contains content no one should be exposed to. But one of the more lighter things that people would make would be internet screamers, which is what this video is about. In case you don't know what an internet screamer is, first of all, good for you, and second of all, an internet screamer is basically a form of media that is shared online, could be a video, could be a game, could literally be anything, which is intended to scare people by suddenly showing a scary image and loud noise when they least expect it, or in more basic terms, an online jump scare. Most of the time, it's used to prank someone if it's some unexpected person who stumbled upon said media, or someone who's trying to scare their friend or family member. Now, screamers in general have existed for a while, with some of the earliest examples of what people would call screamers dating back to the 1960s and 1970s, with the earliest one, according to the Screamer Wiki, being the theatrical trailer for Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 movie, Psycho.
No sound, and,
Although for the longest time, people considered this anti-heroin PSA, known as Monkey on Their Backs, as the first screamer.
They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?
Both used a jump scare, or early version of a screamer, to scare people. One was to scare people into watching a horror film, I guess, and another was to scare people into not doing drugs. But as the internet would become more popular in the mid to late 1990s and early 2000s, these screamers would begin to develop into internet screamers, with the subject changing as well, going from scaring people for a cause to scaring people just for the hell of it, with the first real well-known one coming in 2002, when this would be posted online. Yeah, I bet some people have trauma from this image. I don't, because I didn't fall for this screamer, but a lot of people probably do. Speaking of falling for screamers, I will be talking about screamers I fell for later. Anyways, back on track. In case you don't know this room and are wondering why I just said that, this is the image shown in the infamous What's Wrong with This Picture animation by J. Bill McCarthy, released in 2002. This showed an image of a room and asked people to find out what was wrong with the image. From the looks of it, there was nothing wrong, so people probably looked closer and closer and closer at their monitor in an attempt to figure out what's wrong with the image, which is where the screamer comes in, as after around 30 seconds of being on the page, this happens. Yeah, so that screamer right there would gain immense popularity, mainly from people sending it to their friends or family in an attempt to prank them. It got so popular, in fact, that it ended up being in an actual newspaper. Now, I'm unsure if What's Wrong with This Picture is the oldest screamer on the internet, as, according to the Screamer Wiki, and I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, Kikia, which was created in the same year as What's Wrong with This Picture and was another widespread screamer, is known as one of the earliest screamers to exist on the internet. But whatever the case, the rise of internet screamers would begin after this. Now, I could continue going on and on about every screamer to exist on the internet, but this video would legit be hours long. And the last video was already long enough, so instead I'm gonna talk about some other popular screamers and then talk about some screamers I fell for as a kid, or even recently, I'll be honest. The Maze, also known as Scary Maze Game. This is a very classic screamer, created by Jeremy Winterroud, I think is pronounced his name. I could be wrong. Editor Kadal, you can put on screen if I was right or wrong.
Winterroud.
In 2004. It looks like a game where you have to get your mouse cursor to the end of a maze, and there's 3 levels, with the 3rd level being the hardest, having this very narrow passageway near the end which you have to get your mouse through. This was very much intentional, as you'd really need to be focused on your screen for that part, and just before you complete the maze, well... yeah. Reagan from The Exorcist appears and plays a loud scream. This would become pretty popular, obviously, with, like most screamers, people getting their friends and family to play it in an attempt to prank them, with games based on it coming out, and even it being referenced on shows like Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons. The Kafie commercials. Now, this technically isn't an internet-based screamer. To be exact, this is one of those screamers, like what was mentioned prior, for the whole for a cause thing. However, the internet would adopt it to use as a prank, eventually becoming known as an internet screamer. Kafie was a German coffee-flavored drink company, and in the early 2000s, the company would make a variety of these bait-and-switch commercials to promote their coffee energy drinks. They would start off as some normal-looking scenery, staying like that for most of the commercial with music playing in the background, before some monster pops out and screams. If you've been on the internet for long enough and have fallen for a screamer in the past, there's a high chance you've seen one of these commercials, and most likely, if you have, then you've probably seen the car commercial known as Auto. And in case you haven't, Auto basically shows this white car driving with the camera panning and zooming out before a zombie pops out and screams. Just like the other screamers I mentioned before, this commercial became immensely popular, especially after people online got their hands on it, with people putting it in videos to prank people, which I'll admit we'll talk about more later, I fell for before, or even people showing their family members or friends the full commercial to prank them. And it got so popular that it ended up being referenced in other media like The Amazing World of Gumball. And the last one I'll be talking about for now before covering some screamers I fell for. Where's Waldo? No, that's not a question. In fact, Where's Waldo is actually a pretty popular book series. And there was an internet screamer based on it. The screamer itself was based on another Flash animation of the same name, created in December 2001, uploaded by Newgrounds user Pimp Master K-Dog, which didn't contain a screamer. In July 2002, The Guy You All Hate would upload a screamer version, which removed Waldo and added circus music playing in the background. Due to this, it makes you really look for Waldo, which, after 30 seconds of trying to look, Pazuzu from The Exorcist would appear with a loud scream, which apparently is from Mortal Kombat 2. This screamer is kinda well known, but most notably, according to the Screamer Wiki, this screamer would inspire Jeremy, referring to the guy who made the Scary Maze game, to, well, make said screamer. Alright, now that we're done talking about examples of screamers, let's talk about even more screamers. To be exact, some screamers I fell for as a kid, and even in recent times. To be exact though, it's only 2, because those are the only ones I can think of. One was from when I was a kid, and another was from quite recently actually, like at least over a year ago. Starting with the first one. When I was a kid, I was at my great-grandma's for a visit, and I remembered that she had this laptop, and I was doing some stupid stuff on it, right? Also around this time is when I heard of the Minecraft creepypasta known as Herobrine. So when I go onto the web browser, I decided to search up Herobrine.com, which, as it turns out, was a real link, and brought me to the following webpage. Yeah, so Herobrine.com as it turns out, was a mirror site, being a mirror of Shafu, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, .com, which was, well, what's on the screen. That being Regan from The Exorcist with a repeating scream. You can imagine how scared I was because of this. This website also seemed to have been a personal blog between 2012 and 2014, but in 2014, the blog would be replaced with the Screamer. In 2019, the Screamer would be removed in replacement of text stating that the website's domain was for sale, with both Herobrine.com and Shafu.com being bought in 2020, with Herobrine.com's text being replaced with an image of a QR code from a service called Alipay. In 2023, the website would be updated to match Shafu.com's website discussing air pollution in China with this image. Currently, attempting to visit Herobrine.com shows that it's for sale, with Shafu.com still being up and showing the same thing it was showing previously. And now, time for the second one. This one was contained at the end of a video, and something really interesting about this one is that the Screamer appears to have been removed from the video. So, while the video is still up, the Screamer was removed. So, sometimes, when I'm really bored, I like to watch television technical difficulties. Because, let's be honest, it's pretty interesting to see when a television channel has technical issues. So I decided to watch a compilation video by someone named Matthias Felipe. And, as a note, do not send hate to them. Anyways, the exact video I was watching was Matthias Felipe's Weird or Funny Technical Difficulty Moments on Television, Volume 2. And I decided to watch it to the end. That was kind of a mistake. So, the video was exactly what it said in the title, Weird or Funny Technical Difficulties. But, at the end of the video, first of all, there was a rickroll, before cutting to some other song, which I don't know, before, out of nowhere, switching to the Keifi car commercial Screamer. Even worse is that it was super loud, and it had my headphones at max. Plus, I was going to look directly at the video, so I can turn it off after the rickroll happened. But I didn't even get a chance to because of the Screamer, and it got me. Anyways, when I was thinking of Screamers that got me while writing this video, I remembered that video and I decided to go look for it. And when I found it, I thought I had the wrong video at first because the Screamer that was once there was suddenly now not there. And I thought I had the wrong video at first, or that I was misremembering. But after seeing that I disliked it and going into the comments and seeing another comment mentioning it, I knew I had the right video. And I decided to go look for the unedited version to see if it was archived anywhere. And after doing a bit of looking, and by a bit of looking I mean searching it up on the Internet Archive and looking at the oldest archive, I was indeed able to find it, which is how I'm able to show it here. So yeah. Anyways, that's been Internet Screamers. Not sure what else to say other than, they're Screamers for sure. I'm glad I finally got around to making a video on this, especially because I've been wanting to make a video on this for so long. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, as the message in the actual YouTube intro said, when this video is out, it will be my birthday. So if you want to say happy birthday, you can. It's up to y'all. And until I upload again, later.